What's going on, everybody? Good late afternoon slash early evening, and we've got some Seahawks news, and it's pretty exciting. Yeah, maybe about as exciting as what's currently going on the combine. And I know a lot of you guys, you have your minds going on with your minds on the quarterbacks that performed at the NFL scouting combine today. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning. Maybe you're excited for the Dragons game tonight. I'll be talking about that tonight after the game is over. But I got to make sure I spend at least one video to talk about the news we got this morning. So, the Seahawks have a new coach. We have a new coach on the staff. He is, to my knowledge, not really replacing any one particular coach, but he brings a wealth of experience to the table for this coaching staff. This is the kind of stuff that I think teams should be doing a little bit more. There's no salary cap on coaching. Go get the best coaches you can find and pay them whatever it takes to keep them. There's no cap. If you're somebody like a Jody Allen or the Walmarts or the new Panthers owner, Tepper, and you've got a massive monetary advantage over everybody else, you should just be able to keep the guys that you like, right? You should be able to bring in guys who are, in some cases, very overqualified. And this guy, I don't know if he's overqualified, but his credentials are massive. So let's dive into it here. Brandon Jordan has been hired by the Seahawks as their new pass rush specialist. To my knowledge, we didn't really have a pass rush specialist on the coaching staff before, so this is new. Most recently, he had the same role at Michigan State. He's been doing this kind of stuff for over a decade. The most interesting thing about Brandon Jordan, however, is not necessarily what he was doing for Michigan State or any other team out there. It was his, I guess you could call it kind of a training program. It's called like the Brandon Jordan Trench Preparation Program, where basically upcoming defensive linemen and pass rushers will go to this. It almost sounds like, the TB12 program, but it's probably not a scam. So basically, this guy ends up touching and influencing and having an impact on countless pass rush defensive line players that pass from college football to the NFL. So you can talk about the stuff that he did at Michigan State or any of his other coaching stops. He's got a couple others as well. It's more about that trench preparation program he has, where he gets to work with just about anyone who's anyone. So some of the guys that he's worked with, some of the bigger highlights of his coaching career as a pass rush specialist would be Jadeveon Clowney, Cam Hayward, Chandler Jones, Von Miller, TJ Watt, and Malik Collins. These are some of the notable guys. However, it barely touches the surface of the pool here. In fact, you got this picture right here. This is a list of every current NFL player that has been part of his program. BT-trained NFL athletes. And as you can see, we're talking a couple hundred here in all likelihood. Not all of them, by the way, are pass rushers. Like DK Metcalf is actually listed here. But, you can zoom in here. You go in on Houston, you can see over 10 Texans players were part of his program. You've got guys like Drake Jackson, Javon Kinlaw on the Niners. You've got Bradley Chubb of the Miami Dolphins listed here. Raekwon Davis, always kind of liked him. Tyus Bowser. Got a bunch of guys on the the Eagles. We all know how good that pass rush is. And again, not all of these guys are defensive linemen and linebackers. You've got like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson here. Micah Parsons, there's a big name for you. DJ Reader, nice interior defensive lineman. Carl Lawson, nice edge rusher. Uchenna Nwosu was part of it as well. Like pretty much every team in the league has at least a handful of players that were involved in his program. Like you can just keep going through it here. I'm going to have to zoom in really closely here so you can see the names. Kwity Paye, you've got Leonard Floyd, A'Shawn Robinson, look at all these guys on the Cardinals, by the way. Look at this massive list of Cardinals guys that his program influenced. So, yeah, this guy has a pretty good coaching track record, but the real draw is this massive list of names that he had influence on during his time running this trench program. So this guy knows his way around coaching players in the NFL. This guy knows what's up. So this is exciting to me. This is the kind of stuff that can really make up for losing Sean Desai. And I don't even know if we're going to miss Sean Desai, but I look at this, I look at the guys he's had influence on. Matthew Judon, another name, by the way, just putting that one out there. I'm not going to sit here and read off every single name on this list because it would take forever. But the point is, you've got a pretty decent chunk of the quality defensive linemen, pass rushers out there right now. So this guy is well respected by virtually the entire league. And you got to figure that is an advantage to have on your coaching staff. And for him to be specialized as a pure pass rush specialist means he shouldn't be in over his head. He gets to just focus on the pass rush guys. So as he is now our new pass rush specialist coach, who does that have the biggest impact on? I think most obviously you would say Boye Mafe. Boye Mafe is going to really benefit from this. Boye Mafe was actually not on this list. He was not somebody who had worked in this program before. So therefore, you got to figure this is going to help. Also not on this list, by the way, was Darrell Taylor. Now, Darrell Taylor had a pretty good year rushing the passer last year, 9.5 sacks, but he's still young. You've got to figure he can still get better. So I got to say, there are some guys on this team who could really benefit from working with this guy if his track record is anything to go by at all. So I'm really excited about that. The guys like Nwosu, they probably don't have that much further to go before they hit their ceiling. Like, I understand that they're already really, really good, and there's only so much you can do at a certain point. But guys like Mafe and Taylor, like if you're Mafe, you just need to become a better pass rusher in general. And if you're Darrell Taylor, you need to be able to balance your pass rush without sacrificing everything else in the process. So that's exciting. But don't forget, we've still got this draft in front of us, man. We've got so many good edge players in this draft. Even though we don't necessarily desperately need one, I feel like we're probably going to come away with one. You also might end up with, you could still end up with Jalen Carter. You could still draft Jalen Carter. That's a guy who part of his impact in the NFL is going to be as a rusher. You could still end up with Will Anderson, maybe, I guess. I mean, probably not at this point. I think he's going to be gone, but could end up with Will Anderson. The homie right here is going to have a huge impact on whether or not Will Anderson becomes everything that he can be in the NFL, you got to believe. So whatever you do from here on out for the rest of this offseason, be it in free agency or the draft, he's probably going to have a big impact. You're definitely going to bring in some guys who play in that front seven, who are about that pass rush life with this, with what remains of the draft. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I know it's not as splashy as what AR-15 is currently doing to the combine, but this might be actually even more impactful than what we're seeing right now in Indianapolis. I will talk about that tomorrow, by the way. Believe me. That needs to be discussed 100%. But this hire, I like it. I like the idea behind it. It kind of goes another step forward from the ideas that we were trying to bring to the table last year on the defense. They didn't really work out, but the idea here is the same. We are trying to bring in a wealth of knowledge to the coaching staff. We're trying to delegate things out a little bit, and I think it will end up working out for the best. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys later. Go Hawks.